Hello, I'm Chrissy Seaton, and welcome, ladies, to Women of Wisdom on a Wednesday. Just to be different, in Australia, I'm doing it on my Wednesday instead of Monday. So let's get into this rather quickly and look at head wrapping number 6. And I'm just going to show you a very repeat or with a few changes to a very simple head wrap and how I do it and the tools I use. So no more talking, I'm just going to get on with it. So what I have here already prepared is I have tied my hair up in a bun about there for me, but you can tie it anywhere. Underneath this I have a non-slip headband, and to save time today I have put on this boho shaper, the standard one, that I have altered by taking out the top row. There's another row like this curved padding, and I took that out on mine because it just fitted my head better and allowed me to adapt my wraps just to suit me. But you can get these shapers from Rapunzel, rapunzel.com. I'll leave a link in the description box. Now, all I have here is a simple scarf. I think I got these also from Rapunzel. They're just a very light, fine, I think they're called 2-in-1s, and you can get them in lots of colours. I like them because they're light and they're very versatile. They come in all the colours under the sun, plus they are so easy to wrap, and they kind of grip on each other a little bit, that folds. So they're a real favourite. Yeah, great if you're packing and travelling too, because they're light. You can just gather up a bunch in all colours and throw them in your suitcase, and you've got something to match every outfit. Anyway, let's get on with it. So I have my non-slip garments in place and tied at the back here. So let's move on. You don't need a shaper for this if you don't want one, but the comments I've had have been about how I get that kind of shape. So that explains it. It's the foundation. So here we go with the wrap. I just fold over an amount that suits me, and then I just place that on top of my hair. I kind of try to do it halfway, but it doesn't matter if you're a little bit off center. And then I just drape it over my ears, but you could do it behind your ears if you wish to. I do it like that, and then I'm just going to turn around again because this is a repeat of one I've done previously. I just then gather up all those bits there and twist around like that, and come around to the front, whereby I've actually got them dead even, just by coincidence, not by design. So just for the benefit, we'll start on this side, and the shortest sides of your scarf are what you pick up and re-wrap around your head, not the longer ones. See, that's a longer bit. And this is the shorter bits. You'll be able to tell when you're looking down at yourself in a mirror which is the shortest. So here we go. Just keep a little bit folded under, which keeps that continuity. Because sometimes you might have a patterned scarf too, and you want to capture a little bit of a particular colour stripe or something. So you can, there's room to manipulate here with your scarf tying. So there we go. I bring this wrap up now, just over like that, and just pull it back to make sure you haven't puckered it somewhere. There we go. There we are. Bring that, you've still got that little bit tucked under, And that, depending on the length of this scarf, this is a rectangle one, as to how much wraparound you'll have. Now, the secret is the hijab pin for me. So I just quickly do that. I feel where that scarf's ending, and I just weave that pin in, and that will hold that under there. If it's really long enough, you could tuck it in as well. It's up to you. Some people don't like a lot of bulk at the back of their neck there, which means you can just pin it. Even if there's a bit dangling, it doesn't matter because it gets covered anyway. So then we come back to this piece, the same thing again. We just bring that wrap up and over. I know this is a repeat, but I felt it warranted it in case I left some details out. And again, we bring that around. I'm just going to, so it's covering my ears there. And I'm just going to put that hijab pin in. I can sort of feel where it should go. And then I just stuff that in there like that. So there we go. So that is, I'm just going to have a look in my mirror to make sure I haven't. There we go. That's close enough. Now, we've got that in place. Now that, ladies, you could just use it like that. That's just that simple wrap. Light, it doesn't hang down too far. You could put a little clip or a bow or something in there like that, clip like I've got. Or you can go one step further now and just put a really nice flamboyant accessory in it or on it. I'm going to do this. This is a sort of a scarf, a little slippery, long scarf like that. You can pick them up at lots of places, or you could even make some. Mine's slippery, but you can make them yourself in a cotton or something. Now you can put it on this way. I usually like to start from the back here underneath, but that's a personal choice for you. And I'm just going to kind of, I'm guessing again because I'm not in front of my big mirror, but that's sort of what I'm aiming for, a bit of a flamboyant bow, perhaps. I think I have done one once before with a bow. Now, that's looking okay, just from where I'm sitting and looking at my, yep, that's not too bad. Where I'm looking at my phone camera here. So we could just pull that out a bit more, a little bit like that. Now, you could secure that. You could move it down a bit like that if you wanted to, a bit more maybe. If it was a bit floppy, you could secure it with a pin, but that looks all right. There's a certain amount of creative stiffness in that scarf. Now, just to hold that all together so it doesn't slip, I'm using, I would go for putting a little scarf clip in there, because that will stop it from falling forward or falling back, because you may not see it, but under there's two of those little claws have nicely attached themselves to the scarf, the green scarf, and that will stop this whole thing rocking and rolling around or slipping. So you've made that nice little bow and adjusted it where you want it. You've got the things like that. Or if you felt a need, you could put a little pin there as well. These hijab pins are my lifesavers. I'll just put one in there to give you an idea. Inside that bow, and you could just slide that lightly through, and there you go. Or you can see a tiny bit, but it ties in with the actual dots. It looks like a white spot. So that is a way you can jazz up that single wrap, just a single wrap, and then a little a bit of fanciness, a bow or another scarf. You could put another scarf on there as well, roll it and stuff like that. But this has been requested that I show you how to do this again. So that's it. That's it. Now, as far as temperature goes and heat control, I actually don't find these head wraps hot at all. In fact, it's a very humid climate I live in, especially in Queensland, and I actually find it keeps the heat off my head a lot. Now, I wouldn't want to go out in the garden and sweat like, in the heat of the day, even with a hat on, which is required. You're going to perspire and get hot because of the labour work you're doing. But on a day-to-day basis wearing this, I find that my back of my neck catches the breeze. These scarves are light. If you look around and find them, they're not long. And if anything, they kind of have a cooling effect, because you will notice that people that live in hot climates, especially in the Middle East and places like that, they wear long flowing robes and cover their hair, cover their heads, to actually keep the heat off their head. So it's a personal choice, but now that I have shown you how sort of a repeat performance of how to do this simple wrap. The foundation, the boho, that's optional. Sometimes I don't even use that. I just have a non-slip headband, my hair up in a bun, and then I wrap around. You mightn't get that height there, but then if you add another scarf like I have done and roll it, you will find that you get that that bit of height develops. So we've done the single wrap again, and I'm going to now just answer a couple of questions that I've had. And I do get emails quite regularly, and thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate that. I feel you're very generous to me in your comments, and blessings to you all. There are a number of reasons that women cover their hair. I want to make this very clear. Or let's say they cover their head, covering their head. There are lots of reasons. Now, first of all, there is the obvious that there's women who have to cover their head for health reasons. They're undergoing treatment like chemotherapy or other conditions that cause hair loss or thinning of hair, and some women find it much easier and comfortable for them to cover their head. So that's one reason. It can be cultural. There are places in cultures that women are and cover. That's part of their outfit for the day, is covering their head, and they can be just personal reasons that is nobody's business. I just prefer to do that. It can be religious reasons. There are some religious groups that cover their hair for their women cover their head. It can be a fashion statement, and you can color coordinate and do whatever make it into a fun thing, and it can come down to basic modesty practices that some women have. So no one organisation or belief system or culture has an ownership on head covering. It's not that many years ago that a woman never left the house unless she had a hat or something on her head. It was just the done thing. So let's sort of start appreciating those women who do cover their heads for whatever their reasons are, and it's significant for them that they cover their hair, so we need to respect that. It also, for me personally, it gives me a sense of privacy. And I find that difficult to express in words, but I just got a feeling of privacy. It's like shutting a door so no one can see you in a way, but that's an extreme example. But it kind of encompasses me, and it reminds me who I am, who is Chrissy Seaton personally, who am I to me. So therefore, it gives me a sense of being unique as God created me, and therefore I have unique duties and tasks that God has ordained that I do. So again, it's covering my hair is part of my uniqueness as Chrissy Seaton, as a woman. It keeps me focused on what I'm doing. It keeps me focused on my prayer life. And with this privacy of covering the hair, it also gives me a lot of freedom. And that sounds a bit of a contradiction, but it gives me freedom to go about my business wherever I am with confidence. I feel comfortable. I feel I'm focused always on what I'm meant to be doing. And also, I'm a person who needs to pray a lot. And I've said this before, I never like to be too far from that prayer coming out of my lips. So, and we really should, out of respect, cover our head when we pray as Noahide women. Jewish women certainly cover their hair for extra reasons as well, but they would cover their hair when they are praying. And so we should also, Gentiles, when we're praying, we should cover our head in some way. It doesn't mean you have to go and put on something as elaborate and fancy as this, but a hat or a scarf, something, because it's out of respect. It's saying that you're not, equal to the divine. There's a separation there. I come under the canopy and the protection of the divine. The divine presence is with me. Therefore, out of respect, I want to do this. And that's part of the reasons. And I've already explained in a previous video, I've got a head of hair that nobody would want. It's fuzzy, it's curly, it's all over the place. So it's a twofold thing for me. I don't have to worry about hairdressing, but I have explained all that before. So this, for me, covering my head, that privacy coupled with freedom is a big thing. It's a big bonus for me. I feel invigorated. I feel I'm on a mission. It makes me stay focused on what I'm meant to be doing and not get sidetracked. It just does something. I don't feel I can start my day until I've covered my hair. I often think, I'll just go and throw a load of washing on, No, I can't. I've got to get dressed first, and then I'm ready to face the day and all the challenges that are in store for me. So, just in summary, for me personally, I believe I'm in the presence of the divine at all times. I don't want to do anything to make the divine presence step away from me. I couldn't bear that. I couldn't bear that. So while I'm covering my head, I'm in that contemplative focus that I'm in the presence of Hashem at all times. He made me uniquely different from anyone else, as each individual is. We are individual creations, and we have individual purpose and things we have to do on this earth while we're here, regardless of your faith, religion, culture, background, anything else. Things are unique to each individual. And if some way you dress or For example, cover your hair if you want to. That's part of your uniqueness. And that's between you and Hashem. That's between you and God. It's really nobody else's business. Thank you again, ladies, for joining me, even though it is a Wednesday. But I find it suits my program a little better to do it on a Wednesday. And I thoroughly enjoy getting your emails and the comments. I'll probably get more emails than comments, but that's okay. I get to them. I mightn't get to them on the same day, but I eventually get to them. And wherever possible, I do address or repeat a video if it's required. So I will continue. I've been asked to continue doing some simple head coverings videos, and I will try to do that. I'll make an effort to regularly do that for you. And thank you again, ladies, for your kind words and for viewing my videos. And don't forget, if you're not already subscribing, please do, and encourage other women to subscribe to the channel as well. In the meantime, please take care and God bless you.